So we're going to try and get this back wall in now on the shed. So we'll just ground this paint off here now. And that's going to be a real test of the little inverter welder. I've got the 50-metre extension lead and then a 25-metre on the end of that. Excellent, so Paul's back so he can give me a hand.
God, he is, look at him leaning back into you. We all like our back scratched.
Got the vets over from Wright and Morton. Today is TB test time. So it's Friday afternoon, we're going to have a little bit of a play on the shed today. So we're going to try and get this back wall in now on the shed. As you'll have seen on loads of the videos we've been doing, we've just been using this project really just as a bit of fill-in. We're not in a great rush to get the shed up. So whenever we get a spare few hours, just keep chipping away at it, and it doesn't feel like it's taking any time out of the day. So what we want to do is get a foot onto here to take the concrete panel. So to land the panels on, we're going to weld this little plate, bottom of here, so we can rest that panel on nice and easily. If you're building your own sheds and you haven't already got one of these, the one single item that I'd recommend anyone gets if you do these sort of projects is a laser level. They're not overly expensive these days now, there's loads of different makes on the market, but just be able to set everything at the right height. If your heights are right, everything else is kind of relatively easy, makes it more straightforward. So I've set the bottom of this, I'll just set the laser now to the bottom of this panel. You put that mark on here. So that's the height my little foot one's welded onto. So we'll just ground this paint off here now. And I'll be able to weld this bit of metal on. We'll weld this little foot on there now, at the right height. But what I want to do, because there's not a lot of purchase there on the width of it where the panel will sit, it's only going to be on for like a couple of inches. I've got this big thick bit of 12mm plate. We'll tack that onto the bottom of there. And when that's welded on, it'll give a little bit more room for the panel end to sit on, take the pressure a bit better. Because I've ground my paint off, ground my mark off, so we'll just put the mark back onto the right height. Just put a line across over the spirit level so I know that I've got a nice horizontal line to line this steel up to. And that's going to be a real test of the little inverter welder. I've got the 50-metre extension lead and then a 25-metre on the end of that to get across from the nearest power source on the other building. So this is probably pushing the extremes of what we can get away with. It's a bit battered, this little welder, but it's so handy. Give the little welder a whirl. Doesn't need a lot of weld on here because obviously gravity's on it in its favour. There we go. So that'll hold that on there nicely now. I'm not as heavy as a concrete panel, but I'm pretty sure that's going nowhere. So that's going to be the support for that end of the concrete panel. What we need now is to support this end of the concrete panel. I've got this. Fabricated, you'll see me painting them in an earlier video. They've got a foot at the bottom down here for the panel to rest on. And we've drilled them with a big load of holes all the way up that we can anchor bolt them to these panels. Got to get them in the right place. So the end of the building here, that steel in the middle is lined up with the outside of the building. So as long as I know the distance of this, that steel there is 10 inches or 2054 or something, but it's 10 inches. As long as I come in 10 inches off the end of the shed, so the front of this steel wants to line up with that pencil mark. Same at the other side, and the panel will sit on that foot welded to this angle, and then fish plate to that. Excellent, so Paul's back so he can give me a hand. Once we've got the first bolt in, it'll be easy. I think we're hitting a bit of the rebar in the panel. We need to find a special bit. So we've got a special 4-way bit. These are meant to be good at going through rebar. So that's what I'm talking about. That's gone through the rebar, just gone through the edge of it. No hassle or damage to the tip. Really good bits. Get all the rest of the bolts in there, and then we're ready to get a panel up. It kind of feels like you're losing a bit of room in the shed. The fact that this panel's going to come here, and that's 10 inches, so about a foot just over off the back of here. But you need some space, stop those fixings blowing out the end. If that was too close to here, it could blow out, it wouldn't be strong. Bearing in mind though, you've still got the gable steel, and we've got to be in line with the front of that to be able to push against. The alternative would be to put it in the web of that steel at the back, but as I say, that would take us really close at this end, which means we'd have to like fabricate a big flange over the end of those panels to be able to go against. So it's quite a simple way of doing it like this, and it'd be nice and strong.
Some good news yesterday. Finally got from the doctors. They're pushing me forward for an emergency, not an emergency, but an MRI on my knee. So I'm chuffed to bits about that because I am in agony at the moment. Hit. Ooh, that was nice and easy. So our handling area, it's a bit like Transformers. Usually here, I have a big feed bunk, but what we do now is move the feed bunk out of the way, and then I separate this shed into 2 pens. All these gates, you see where we've welded this gate together. This is one 8-foot gate, I think it was, and welded the small one on. All these, if any of you viewers remember Chelford Market in Cheshire, it's when that shut down. When that shut down, sorry about the cows, we bought a load of the gates. So we've made all our handling area and internal gates with those. So it takes you back a little bit when you're children. Messing around at the market. Good lads, go on. Well, we caught Xanders, that worked well. While we got him tied up there, we just thought I'd give him a brush. He's loving it, isn't he, Luke?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. So that is good time. I think that's a good time spent just giving him a bit of a groom before the vet comes. God, he is. Look at him leaning back into you. Oh, what it's like to have your back scratched. We all like our back scratched. Right, the vet is here. Morgan from Morton. Good lad, good lad, good lad. Right, you turn around now, see you, mate. Good, lads. Go on, go on, go on, go on, good lad, good lad, good lad, good lad. Good lad, go on. So have to wait. What day is today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 full days we wait, and then we get the results. The vet comes back to do the testing to see if they've reacted or not. Hopefully they haven't.
Another cold and frosty morning, and a nervous morning at that. I've got the vets over from Wright and Morton. So does everyone at Wright and Morton follow the channel now?
I don't know, I have to chase them up, but Katie...
I think you need to send a memo round when you get back now, at Team Caddis.
Yeah.
And any of you guys watching, if you've not already subscribed, please like and subscribe. Helps grow our little channel, really appreciate it. Today is TB test time. So we injected on Tuesday. So today we're reading the results. Good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Better if this goes well.
Yeah, of course.
So we've just got to check for skin reactors. So we've put 2 injections in that you might have seen earlier in the video, and we've just got to compare the lump sizes now.
Yeah, we're good. He's fine.
Excellent. At least Xander's all right. So there's like 2 injections. One's a control, and one, if it reacts, is the bad one. So if we get any lumps, then they just check the sizes of the calipers. So we've got to run all cattle now through the race. Fortunately, at the moment, if everything goes to plan, we're currently in a 12-month testing zone. So we have to check the cattle every 12 months. If more outbreaks happen locally, or we have an outbreak, then that increases dramatically to every 60 days, I think, and then 6-month testing. So, just these little calves to do now.
Okay.
And they're clear?
Yeah.
All clear.
Thumbs up.
Brilliant.
Can relax for the winter.
Excellent. Clear test.
Yeah, of course.
We did struggle with the TB testing, and the way that our test fell, it meant that we'd had to test in August to turn the cows back out into the environment, to then bring them back at housing, and then not test the following August. And it made no sense whatsoever. So I dug my heels in, and we spoke to the DEFRA vets and stuff, and we did manage and it wasn't an easy process, to get our TB testing moved back in the year until November, because then we've just brought everything in for housing, everything's in close proximity, we do a test, get a clear test, we know we've got confidence now that the herd is clear going forward through the winter in close proximity. And to get to that point, jump through so many hoops and really dig our heels in, and it was just ridiculous really that there was no part of the policy that allowed us to move the test back to housing, even though everyone we spoke to agreed that was better than to do. But anyway, we've got a clear test, we're all good for winter.